for painted finishes, sometimes it's better than sanding, is to just give the edges a shot of a sharp plane. So that's what I'm doing with this. And when you get a lovely clean shaven off like so, okay, you're talking about less than 1/10 of a millimetre. So what you do is you get a very shiny finish. So it's actually silky finish to feel. And you apply the paint to that. No paper whatsoever, no sandpaper whatsoever. So you apply the first coat of primer to that. So what I'll do is I'll just run along, excuse me, just run along that and just give it a little quick whip. And you don't have to be too fussy, just run along like that. And go from the end here. Now you can work front to back, or back to front, whichever way you wish. Just in case of getting a clean finish on it there, taking off a nice smooth shaving. So this particular side looks decent. So I'm just going to, I prefer to work from front to back. With some tools, that's the way you work, especially with all type of hand planes or shaping tools, which was what was used prior to power tools coming in. You would have rebate planes, you'd have profile planes, mostly all made in timber. I hope to show them as I go forward. And the action would always have been to work from front to back. We're spoiled in today's world, but when we're coming down to quality finishes, when you do have to do quality finishes, especially with fine furniture, you always finish by hand, regardless of the machines doing all the donkey work. You'll find that it'll take paint better, but the whole of a good craftsman or a good tradesperson, whatever we choose to call ourselves, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Titles and labels aren't my forte, but these are little areas that are going to be seen. So what am I doing here? I'm just removing the marks of the plane, or the little scallops that will be left by the plane. Or now I can go even finer with this, but tiny little shot. That's all I want. I'm touching there just to feel for silky smooth finish. And I would do this also prior to routering, because if there's any little discrepancies or little scallops left by the router or left by the planer, the router will actually pick up on them, and the router itself will move and get that vibration action into the surface as well, which will lead, which end up anyway having to sand off at a later date. So it's better to do this first. You don't always have to do this, but for hand painted finishes, yes I do. So anything tending to the fine or towards furniture, fine furniture, I would always give a finish with a hand tool, whether that's a chisel or a plane or a rebate plane, flat plane, doesn't matter. It's always finished by hand. So this surface, I plane the edges there. I'm going to route these. That's the top surface, so it's going to be actually seen. So therefore, I need it nice and smooth. Bottom is irrelevant because it's sitting on top of the string, which will be underneath it here. That's just to mimic the string. So it'll be like so. I'm going to bevel this side, and I'm just going to put a round over on the edge here to soften it. Don't want it too strong, so I'm just going to put a little round over like so. Maybe 9, that's 9.5, might put 6.5, we'll see. So that's going on that. Next, that's the next one to do. As I said, I've done the tracking already to take the spindles, and the next phase now is to route it. So I will do the same thing with the handrail. So if I take a section of handrail here, this is oak handrail, so it's fine, you'll see fine. Just get into the vise there, it's heavy. There's fine little marks on this here, and I'm going to be using a round over, which is a whole bit like that, or a round over, a bullnose, sorry I should say, bullnose cutter with a wheel on it. But any little discrepancies again the router cutter would follow. So just that's an exaggerated form of what will be happening, a little bit of vibration. In order to counteract that or to minimise that, we come back and we take them off it. So again, Softwood is easy to plane, but when you're coming to hardwood, you need an extremely hard or an extremely sharp plane to do that, a blade. So it's important that you're able to sharpen properly. I'm going to retract the blade ever so slightly, and lots of people are taught to sight the blade. I was never able to do that. I always got to set the plane by touch, so I touched the base of the blade. That would have been frowned upon years ago. I say, oh, you cut yourself, but I've never cut myself setting the blade, and you can just go by feel. So I wind it back there, and I just want to take the bare amount. I can see the shiny surface here. The camera will probably not pick it up. I'll take a fraction more there. So I'm only taking the ripples from the planer off the surface there. So I can feel it, I can see it here. Now you won't get a finish without a sharp plane on the likes of oak, ash, maple, any of them woods. So you need to have respect for the material. Remember, the material dictates how it's worked. You don't dictate how the material is worked. So sharp edges always for hardwoods. Now that's how fast I would normally be working when I wouldn't be on camera. A lovely silk finish there now, and I'll just do the other side. Pop my oak in here, shin oil, and I'll just take back my blade a little bit as well, just retract it a wee bit. That's it. A little bit forward. And we're done. 2 more to do. But you get the idea. I'm not sure if the camera can pick up that there, but that is like silk. That done, when I come to use the router on it, I won't get that little ripple effect where the wheel will be bouncing out. You just get a little vibration situation like that. Don't want that. The hand plane ensures that never happens.